Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in a bigger role, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Tap Room Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks Lats. Joined as always with my guys, Swerving Irvin Washington, Big Ballin' Ben Larson. Got a lot to talk about tonight, like we do every Sunday. A lot of Major League Baseball on deck this week. Yeah, man, looking forward to tonight's show. Got some NFL to talk about too. Just a lot going on. What a weekend. How you boys doing?
Oh,
Can't
doing
complain,
good.
man.
Can't complain. Good week. Good weekend. Enjoying some Women's World Cup. Good.
What was that? Well, you said I'm enjoying the Women's World Cup. What?
But I'm really not. That shit has been totally unpredictable.
Hey, but if you're betting the under, you're happy.
Oh man, if you bet the unders, you're a rich man.
Yep.
Or if you're taking the dogs on the spreads. You're also-
Unders and under spread, you a rich man.
Yep. It's gonna turn around though.
Yeah, definitely. It ain't gonna continue.
It's gonna start to turn. It's gonna, it always balances out. But yeah, Women's World Cup. It's been pretty interesting. I watched the Sweden game last night, and it was like, I don't know, some of the worst soccer I've ever watched in my life. But
Like watching the MLS.
kinda. I mean, it was weird because like South Africa has this one girl that was just like, dude, this girl was incredibly fast, dude. Like she was by far the fastest player on the field. But Sweden was like the better team, obviously. Like they dominated possession of the ball for most of the game, but they couldn't score goals, dude. They missed a ton of opportunities, and it was just like, what am I watching, dude? It was just not good soccer. Watched the Philippines game, the first time they've ever been in the World Cup. That was pretty interesting.
Yep.
A lot of girls from California on the team too. So, yeah, man, Women's World Cup's has been pretty interesting. You know what else I watched today? Slam ball, dude.
I saw those highlights the other day.
Yeah, I was watching a couple games. I'm like, this shit is not like nostalgic as it was when I was a kid. Like,
Yeah, dude,
and I realized, like, back in the day, I never realized, like, they shooting. But, man, them dudes can't shoot for shit in slam ball.
dude. And it's
Well, and you got a rim that's like protected too. So anything that you normally shoot in a basketball, it's not going to go in.
well, the whole point of it's to dunk it. That's why there's
Well, I know,
trampolines.
too. But, yeah.
Like, because, like, when teams get behind, they got to make up those points. Like, one team was down by, like, 15, and they came down to try to shoot, like, 4 threes in a row. All the motherfuckers was air balls.
Oh.
One went completely over the whole rim. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers.
But a slam
can't
dunks
shoot
were
for shit.
3 points, and a 3-pointer's
well, I don't know
worth 4.
Oh, I don't know why they.
There you go. So you get that extra
that's why
point
they were
there.
trying to make up the deficit there.
The thing that I noticed about it was like, I don't think these teams had any time to practice because there was like they're like missing lobs, and like there's times where a dude lobs it and the guy doesn't even go to dunk it. Like he's just like, what is going on?
He
And then
just
they-
hit off the rim, and then the stopper grabs it.
And then they also don't even know the rules, dude. Like they keep, like the refs have to remind them of the rules all the time. They're like, you can't stop on the pad that isn't the middle pad.
Uh-huh.
So every time you stop on the pad that isn't the middle pad, it's out of bounds. And like they kept
Okay.
doing it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even know the rules of the game. It was interesting, but it's still like I don't know. It's
entertaining.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
it's
I never
something.
realized how untrained and like not super technical that game is. Just like
Yeah,
fucking free for all prison ball with trampolines.
pretty much, dude. It's like football with basketball with trampolines, dude. That's what it is. Interesting stuff. Ben, did you go see Barbie this weekend?
I did not. I did something though. So
Nice.
yeah, we did that, and
Official.
then fucking moved, man. That's all I've been doing for the last like 4 weekends. So
Dang, I was surprised you didn't go see Barbie. Thought that would be your thing.
no.
Come
Yeah,
on,
but
Barbie, let's go
but
party.
we all know why Barbie can't get pregnant though, right?
No, why is that?
Because Ken comes in a different box.
Oh shit!
There we
Look
go.
at you with the jokes. Nice, man. We got a lot to talk about. Ben, what are you sipping on?
I'm going with a bear bottle today, out of San Francisco. I am drinking Hella Hetchy, so it's a Yosemite Pilsner at 4%. Water
Hella.
comes from Hetchy Dam in Yosemite.
Nice.
Yep.
Like it. I'm sipping on Peace and Love West Coast Pale Ale.
Nice.
By Big Dogs Brewing Company out here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
There we go.
Big Dog's all right, but this is one that I actually like. Their pale ale. It's pretty cool.
Are they in the downtown area or?
You know, I don't know where. I think they have a brewery on the Strip.
Okay.
You know, I've never actually
Let's
been to
check
the
that out next
brewery.
time.
I just see the cans.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, and they might not have a storefront too, or a tap room. So
Yeah, they could just be on like in other restaurants and stuff. But
yeah,
I've had this one, and I've had their lager, and I've had one of their IPAs. Their IPA is all right. Their lager is a lot to be desired, but this one's pretty good. So I enjoy this pale ale. So we'll be sipping on that throughout the show.
there we go.
But first, before we hop into baseball, I do want to talk about the NFL and the running back situation that's going on. And for those that are living under a rock and don't know what's going on, you know, Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs they got franchise tagged, meaning that they can negotiate a contract up until last Monday. They had an opportunity to negotiate a contract, or they have to play the season under the franchise tag, which neither of them have signed yet. So they don't have to report to camp. They don't have to play a game, but they also don't get paid until they sign that tender. And both guys haven't yet. Both guys did not come to agreement with either of their franchises on a contract. And there's a lot of debate going on about like what is fair market value for a running back, or is it unfair to the running backs, and et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, there's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of stuff that is involved in these decisions, obviously. So I just wanted to get your guys' opinions on the running back position. Like, do you think the running back position is undervalued? Do you think it's valued just right? And what do you think about the situation of these two running backs here, and kind of how do we think it gets resolved?
I think it's crazy because both these guys, Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, are two of the younger running backs. I mean, Saquon's definitely had injuries, which will, you know, shorten his time in the NFL. But I mean, they're still younger than, you know, every single one of those running backs that are on higher contracts. So I'm a little surprised, especially with the Raiders not signing Jacobs to something more than, what is it, 10.1? Because he is the life of that offense right now. And you better hope Garoppolo can throw the ball. But Garoppolo hasn't had to throw the ball in San Francisco. So,
I mean, you could say the same thing for the Giants and Saquon too.
Yeah. I would give more of a cushion for the Giants. You know, Danny Dimes is at least better than Garoppolo.
No.
Or at least has more.
The only thing,
the arm, I'd say I would be more comfortable with Jones than I would be with Garoppolo.
Hell no, and twice on Sunday, hell no.
I don't know about that.
I want about 28 other quarterbacks before Daniel Jones, to be honest.
I'd want 28 other quarterbacks before.
Yeah, Daniel Jones sucks, dude.
Yeah, but so does Garoppolo.
No, but the thing about Jimmy G, he's not flashy. He's not your ideal quarterback, but he wins games, and you can't put a a cap on how successful he's been as a QB. Outside of him missing a wide open Emmanuel Sanders, the Niners would be Super Bowl champions with Jimmy G. So I'll give the man his credit. Yeah, Daniel Jones is not better than Jimmy G.
I'd put them at an even level right now because you have a lot of those catches were from, you know, what made Jimmy there was Kittle, who catches the ball. I mean, a fucking 3-year-old can be throwing the ball and Kittle would catch it. It's going to be a lot harder when
he gets them the ball and his teammates love him. So his impact on the field is more than stats. It's more than drop passes and passes completed. He's a leader of men and he wins. So I understand he didn't win in the biggest moment, but y'all could have did a lot worse at the quarterback position than Jimmy G. And
absolutely.
And he was on a team-friendly deal.
I think we're gonna see a big decline in Jimmy G this year, though.
And he could have fucked y'all over. He could have left and not came back and not been y'all backup.
Absolutely.
He was still a team player. So what he did for San Francisco should be pretty valued amongst the fans. I know y'all like Purdy more, Trey Lance more, but without Jimmy G, y'all was in QB purgatory for a minute there.
Yeah, and I think there's a very telling thing. So last offseason, if you remember, it was, you know, Trey Lance is going to take the reins. He's going to be the starting quarterback, etc. Joe Montana, on record, on national radio, said Jimmy G is liked in that locker room. The players want Jimmy G more than they want Trey Lance. And you saw the second Jimmy G started playing, the Niners started playing good. And it's like Irv said, you listen to any of those players in that locker room, how they talk about Jimmy, like they love that dude. Like they would run through a wall for Jimmy Garoppolo. And I do think that there is more to playing quarterback than just being flashy. Like Aaron Rodgers is one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. He has one Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like there's more to playing quarterback. Like Tom Brady, no one considers him the most talented quarterback ever, but he has the most Super Bowl rings. And like we could talk about the team around them, and people always say like, oh well, if any quarterback had the Niners defense and the Niners running game, they'd be successful. Well, how come there's only been Jimmy G and nobody else, and Brock Purdy for 6 games, nobody else has been successful under Kyle Shanahan for the Niners, if that's the case? You know what I mean? So I think
D-Hart was terrible. What's the name showed flashes, but he couldn't get the job done to do that. Nick Mullins came in after him.
So I think Irv's right, dude. I think that people kind of lose sight of things, and like and Raider fans are just as bad, man, because they're sitting here, they're like, man, Jimmy G sucks, bro. You got Jimmy G for like $10 million, dude.
Yeah, they say Jimmy G sucks. Tank for Drake May, tank for Caleb. I can guarantee you, Jimmy G's healthy. The Raiders aren't going to be in no position to have a top 5.
They're going to win 8 to 9 games, dude.
Top 3 pick. They're going to win 8 to 9 games for sure. Jimmy G stays healthy. Now, they just complete dog shit and Jimmy G has a bad season. Okay, I can see them winning on like 4 or 5 games. But them going like 3-14 or 2-15 or some shit like that, that's out the window because
he'll do enough.
The credit that Jimmy G doesn't get, he's not going to lose you that many games. If they lose that many games, it's going to be because their defense is complete dog shit.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, and you better hope that offensive line is strong.
It came together a little better last year. The problem with them is that they drafted guys so high and they didn't pan out. And like even the later round picks ain't been that good outside of that guard. And the center came on pretty good, but hopefully the guys they drafted this year could be better and they develop them some more. But Cole Miller, he started off horrible, looking like complete bust, but he's turned into a solid left tackle. I wouldn't say he's special, but he is a good left tackle. Rest other than that, Leatherwood. Leatherwood was a huge miss. That's probably set him back because now they got to make up for drafting a guy that high, and he only was with the team 1 year. Yep. So I don't know. We'll see if Josh McDaniels can the 6-time Super Bowl champion. Let's see what he can do.
Yep. And
yes,
and I'm only bringing this up in the sense that like I think Saquon means more to what the Giants do than Josh Jacobs
way more
means to what the Raiders do. And that's not to say like the Raiders don't need Josh Jacobs. I just think that in the Giants case, they need Saquon Barkley. If they don't have Saquon,
those games he didn't have Saquon for 3 games last year and only averaged like less than 20 points.
Yep, they were
And
horrible.
then as soon as he come back, they're a totally different offense. So out of all the running backs, I'm shocked that he didn't get his payday. And it sucks because the scouts, the media, um, all these dudes in the front offices have devalued the running back position and like watered it down to the fact that, oh, I'm not going to pay this veteran when I could draft this third or this rookie in the third or fourth round and get almost the same production at 80% cheaper cost, which I get it's a business, but at the end of the day, you got to take care of your guys because they're out there risking life and limb for you to make you millions upon millions and millions of dollars. And when it's time for them to, even if, especially if they outperform their contract and y'all want to hold them hostage and not pay them what they worth, then okay, if you want to do that, then that's where the free market needs to be let in. Stop with this bullshit ass franchise tag. I've never liked the franchise tag because that's basically telling teams, "Oh, we love you, but we don't love you that much to commit to you long term."
Yep.
Like, if you're gonna give the owners and these front offices all this power and all this, oh, we could draft this guy, draft that guy. You can cut guys whenever you want to, but when it's time to pay guys, you get situations like Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Danny Jacobs. You know, it happens over the year. It had been happening over the years to running back. So, but I would really, and then you look at the other sides when like, okay, if a running back gets paid and they're not living up to their contract, like Ezekiel Elliott, he got the bag and was just terrible. So that's probably another reason why running backs don't get paid what they supposed to get because some of these owners look at, oh, this owner gave out this deal, look how this guy performed. But if a guy performed for you, once you pay him, you shouldn't. Once it comes time to pay him, you should probably think like, okay, he gonna continue to perform at the level he's been performing, barring injuries. And that's how you look at it with Saquon and Jacobs. Like when they're on the field, they are impact players, so they should be paid as such. But these scouts and front offices have devalued them. The running back position is at its lowest I've ever seen it in my life of watching football. And it's not cool because outside of the quarterback, they're gonna probably touch the ball more times than anybody else on the offense. So they have a big impact on the game. So they definitely, if you perform at a high level, you deserve to get paid fair, free, the market value of what you're supposed to, command as a top 5, top 3 running back.
I think there's a lot to unpack in there, and it really starts with like the CBA first and foremost, right? Like NFL PA and NFL players they're notorious for like not being united because every single CBA that comes up, they just like they sign a quick deal because they don't want to miss game checks because most of these guys they're only going to play in the league for 2 to 3 years max, you know what I mean? And there's very few guys that play a long time, so it's like they need to get that money and they need to get it now. And I think that kind of hurts. And there's 52 guys on a roster, right? So it kind of hurts because not everyone's making the same wage and
everyone's not under a guaranteed deal. So yeah.
So the CBA is just, it's a mess, dude. The NFLPA is a mess. Like it's just, this is like ongoing forever stuff that we know about, right? So like, but then when you talk about market value, like I think the market has devalued the running back. It's not even just these individual teams. It's the fact that like you said it best with the Ezekiel Elliott thing. Like how many times have we seen a running back get paid and then they never duplicate what they did before? Because the NFL compared to other leagues is I'm going to pay you to perform later rather than what you've done. What you've done obviously goes into what you can get paid, but for a running back, the average lifespan of a running back is under 3 years. So by the time they get their big deal after their rookie deal, which is 4 or 5 years, basically they're already they're damaged goods at that point. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's a few like the Derrick Henrys of the world, and
yeah, you can say that in a sense, but if they earn that contract, what makes you think that they're not going to perform? Like you gotta.
Because of what you said about Ezekiel Elliott, you gave the perfect example.
I know that's one example, but then you got guys like Derrick Henry, then you Dalvin Cook, Dan Jacobs, Barkley. All these guys have exceeded their rookie deals and deserve their long-term secure the bag deal. So I get the suddenness not to want to give that deal out because you got to look at Ezekiel Elliott, who was setting the league on fire. And out of nowhere, just a shell of himself and not the same running back, but he got paid.
I also think a big part of Saquon's issue too, Irvin. You and I had talked about this. Is the fact that he saw Daniel Jones get $40 million, and he's like, "Bruh, this offense doesn't need him. Like this offense is better. It doesn't matter about him, and you're giving him $40 million." Like the Giants offered Saquon a deal. We don't know what the deal was, but I mean, let's say they offer him $16 million. He's making, you know, $24 million less than Daniel Jones. He's sitting there like, bro, what the fuck? Like this is a joke.
He's
dude.
paid. That would put him at the second highest paid
running back
too.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of that team, you know what I mean? Like he's sitting there and looking at that.
I think the second highest paid running back right now is Bijan Robinson. He haven't played it down.
That's crazy.
Kamara.
Oh yeah, Kamara.
Bijan's making an average of 5.5 a year.
No, like his total, because his contract is
total guarantee is 22.
Yeah, and he making 12 million in his first year.
Yeah, you got McCaffrey at 36 guaranteed, Kamara at 34, Henry 25, Chubb 20. So he's up there. He's definitely up there. But
that's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean,
and what you mentioned earlier, Dalvin Cook, he's not even signed.
Yeah, I know, but he got that big deal and he didn't tell off. The only reason he's a cap casualty.
Yeah.
So Minnie was over the cap. They're trying to save money, so they let him go. If they was up to him, they wanted him to restructure and keep him, but he wasn't willing to do that. Which I don't. Unless you like a quarterback and they just move your money over to like guarantee. But if they trying to totally like restructure your deal, if you're a non-quarterback, you shouldn't go for that shit, because at the end of the day, if you get hurt, it's only going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt them. And if you fuck off or get hurt, they're going to cut you. So being a team player has its limits when you're a non-QB, which I get, but I don't know, man. It's just hard for me to advocate for these guys to take less when they're out there pretty much putting their life on the line. We seen what happened with DeMar Hamlin.
Daniel Lopez made a great point on Twitter today about this whole situation. He said the biggest thing that could probably help the running backs is if they make passing harder, because like all the rules in the last 20 years have benefited throwing the football, which has helped devalue the running back. And I didn't think of it like this. I was like, damn, dude, that's actually pretty true, because if defenders were able to like, you know, bump and basically tackle guys like they could in the old days, right, in the 90s and stuff, well, that would make the running back position a lot more valuable, right? So I do think that kind of has hurt it too, just the way the game has changed. You know, it's just unfortunately how it is. Do you think either of these guys sit out and miss games?
Well, Saquon sounds adamant that he's not going to play, and Daniel Jacobs. Now, them missing games, it all comes down to how they manage their money.
Yeah, I can see him missing. Yeah, I can see him missing preseason, but probably not.
Yeah, so like you said, they look forward to the game checks because that's a big part of their income during the season. Because in the off season, all you pretty much have is your signing bonus and, you know, your sponsors and all that. So this all comes down to how they manage their chickens. Like, you know, you're not supposed to count another man's pocket, but if they can afford to miss games, I wouldn't be surprised if they sit out, because like they said, they want long-term security. They want to secure the future for them, their kids, their families, which I have no problem with. Now, proving a point would sit. If I could do it, I'm gonna sit out, because Saquon showed it when he wasn't on that, when he wasn't active and playing for that team. That offense averaged like more than 10 points less a game. The games he sat out.
I think it was 93 or 95 when Emmitt Smith was in a holdout and he missed 3 games, and the Cowboys went 0-3 in those games, and they signed him.
Yeah, they had to pay him. But then even Emmitt Smith did an interview years later and just came out and said it. He played himself, because even the contract that he got from Dallas was way less. I think he said Detroit offered him a lot of money, and he said another team offered him way more money than what Dallas did. And he was you know, he felt like he owed it to the Cowboys to be a Cowboy. So as long as they could come with a competitive offer, he was going to stay with the Cowboys. But he said, looking back at it, I should have just did what was best for Emmitt Smith, because now, even though he's a legend and he's all that, and he's one of the greatest Cowboys ever lived, he realized that the Cowboys gonna do what's best for the Cowboys, not what's best for Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders, whoever it is. They're gonna do what's best for them at the end of the day.
Yep, good point. It's
I
gonna be
don't, I don't
interesting.
know who their young guys are for either of these teams if they have a young running back, but what happens for Jacobs or Barkley if some kid comes in and
Well, the Raiders
doesn't really
drafted
show?
the dude from Georgia. I don't know if he had a good year as a rookie, but
He didn't play
he
that
would
much.
probably be in. Yeah, he would probably be in a driver's seat to take over if Jacobs did sit out. But that's one of the risks you got to look at too. Like when this guy comes in setting the world on fire. But at the end of the day, even if they don't play, I think both of them gonna be free agents next year. So
Yep. But we've seen what happens when you sit out a whole year, like Le'Veon Bell.
it definitely hurts your game.
Never
Did he
the
sit
same.
out a whole year, like half a year?
Sat out the whole year, bro.
Damn.
Yep. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I think both actually probably end up signing their tenders before the start of the season. Just play under the franchise tag and then move on. I think in the scheme of playing futures on either of these teams, I do think it might kind of. I think it definitely hurts the Giants in the fact that like I don't think I think a lot of people in that Giants locker room look at that Daniel Jones contract and they're just like, man, this is insane, dude. Like this is an average quarterback making $40 million a year, and he can't like lead a team like a guy making $40 million a year. You know what I mean? So I think there's some interesting dynamics in the Giants locker room. It's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. I definitely think that team is worse. I think they're not as good as their record indicated last year. They're probably going to end up finishing last place in the NFC East. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, man. But definitely wanted to talk about that because it's good information to have. All right, let's talk some baseball, man, because we are starting to really get towards the trade deadline on August 1st. So we have about 8 days before the deadline, and we got teams that are really on the fringe of contention and sellers. We had who was it that came out today? Let me see. Hold on, let me pull it up. Bob Nightingale came out today. He's a baseball writer, and he said the Padres are likely to shop all-star closer Josh Hader and starter Blake Snell barring a sudden dramatic winning streak. So basically winning 8 games in a row. Padres currently sit 6 games back of the wild card with Philly, Miami, and Chicago ahead of them. So, we've been talking trade deadline and who gets traded and whatnot, but I think now after this weekend, I think we really kind of separate, like the Chicago Cubs, for example. Like I thought they were going to be sellers. They sweep the Cardinals, and now they're only 5.5 back, and it's like, well, we're right there. We're like,
What's that line?
I think
Where do you think we set that line? Because in National League, you've got the Phillies and Marlins only half game back, but then you jump all the way to 5.5 with the Cubs. Padres are 6. Mets are 7.5. So do you put any of those 3 out of the mix?
Well, I think the fact that the Cubs have a plus 41 run differential, they definitely have the best starting pitching in their division. And they're starting to get healthy. Like they're getting Nick Madrigal back. They just got Morel back. They got Bellinger back a couple weeks ago. So like they're starting to get healthy, and you're seeing it kind of pay off, which I think is why the Cubs kind of turned into buyers at the deadline. Whereas like the Padres, dude, they haven't won 3 games in a row all year. So what makes you think they're gonna go on a streak, dude, when they haven't been able to do it all year? Win 3. They can't win 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think they should just get ahead of it and start selling.
I think they're just
will
a mess.
the Mets ever be sellers?
Yeah, the Mets
Nah.
are selling.
Oh yeah, they're selling some guys, but they're not selling like anybody like big names.
Yeah.
I don't think their big names are tradable. Like nobody's gonna take on Lindor's contract.
Mhm.
I don't even think teams want to take on Scherzer or Verlander, to be honest.
I don't think so either.
I think the only pieces they can really sell off is Tommy Pham, Mark Canha, because they're both free agents at the end of the year, and maybe David Robertson, the closer. You know what I mean? Like, they just have a lot of shitty contracts, dude, and that's gonna fucking hurt them.
Damn, have they paid Pete Alonso yet?
I think he still has one more year of ARB left, but I mean, obviously Cohen will pay him.
Yeah. I'm just saying, damn.
Yeah, he's not gonna get traded. He's probably the only player of like significant value. You know what I mean? But for them to trade Verlander or Scherzer, like they'd have to take on a shitty contract just to trade them.
Yeah, trade him to the Angels and take on Carlos Rendon contract.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what they got to do, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't really make sense to trade them at the end of the day. So that's gonna be pretty fascinating. The San Francisco Giants, Ben, get swept by the Washington Nationals. So I texted you guys earlier. First time in 96 consecutive series that the Nationals swept a team. Giants, I mean, they're hanging on to the wild card though. They're a half game up on Philly and Miami. Miami's absolutely just fucking sputtering out of control down there in South Beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd give the Diamondback spot more of an opening than the Giants spot right now. Diamondbacks have just gone on that same downhill spiral.
Yeah, they had injuries though. Y'all healthy.
Yeah. They lost
Yeah,
Merrill
well,
Kelly and they lost.
Yeah, but again, how long is that going to happen? Because they're 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
played some pretty stiff competition in the last 10 too, outside of the Reds.
Yeah, I
And
mean
the
they
Reds
took
swept
2 of 3 from the Braves, and it's like, okay, they're turning the corner, and then they get fucking swept by the Reds, dude.
Yeah.
And today they had every opportunity to win the game, and they just fucking could not do it. So but I mean the Diamondbacks and the Giants obviously are going to be sellers. They're right there, the wild card. I mean, not sellers, buyers. I'm sorry,
Buyers. Yeah.
They're both like right there. I think it's gonna be fascinating what either of those teams do. Obviously, the Diamondbacks have a huge farm that they can make some moves. I don't know if they're gonna make like any significant moves. The Dodgers are fucking scorching hot, dude.
Yep.
Just playing some phenomenal baseball. I swear to God, I don't think Freddie Freeman has gotten out in like a week, dude. Like that dude is like on base
Just keep doing your thing, Dodgers. Give number 17 more of a reason to come join the organization.
I think the fascinating thing for the Dodgers though is like they desperately need to go get some starters, dude. And I'm not talking one.
We probably need to get Giolito, and we probably need to grab somebody else, to be honest, because we can't keep trotting these rookies out there. Like today, we should have fucking won 7-0, 7-2, but we had a rookie pitcher and couldn't buy a fucking out for damn near 2 innings. We ended up losing 9-4 or some shit like that. But
8-4,
yeah, I'm proud of my boys in blue. We're showing that, we might not be we're still one of the deepest teams in the league, but even through these injuries, we're fighting through, and our talent is still showing. They are interested in Tommy Pham and Kike Hernandez at a price. So if we could add either one of those and a starter and maybe another bullpen arm, I like our chances.
I was also thinking that if Boston, I know they're only 2.5 back of the wild card, but if they decide to become sellers, like James Paxton makes perfect sense for the Dodgers. Jordan Montgomery.
Boston won't sell though.
No, we're not getting Jordan Montgomery got his ass shelled today by the Cubs. If we trade for him, we might as well bring Noah Syndergaard back and make him our ace.
I mean, the one thing about the Dodgers though is like they always make these like minimal type pitching moves, and then it ends up being good.
Yeah, I think we get Giolito, maybe Paxton, hopefully, and then we DFA Noah Syndergaard.
This dude, he wants a DFA Syndergaard so bad. Shane Bieber just got hurt, right elbow inflammation. He might need TJ. He's definitely not getting traded now.
Yeah, he's done. He's not getting traded. I think he's done for the year. And Ramirez, man, you had the bases loaded, no fucking outs, and then get an RBI. Like, bro, like you're one of the best hitters in baseball. Step on it, bro.
Yeah, Cleveland should definitely be sellers at the deadline.
But Cleveland's so close in their division, though.
They're four.
It's like fool's gold though, because that's a dog shit division.
Yeah, they're like 3.5 back now, Ben, or 4.
They are. Sorry, I'm pulling up the division headed overall. Sorry, they are 3 back.
Twins are just a better
3
team
back
than
the
them,
Twins.
dude. And the Twins, if we're being honest, dude, the Twins definitely have the best starting rotation. If they just get a bat and Byron Buxton actually like wakes up and is like, "Oh, I'm Byron Buxton," because I mean he's fucking ass this year, dude. He's hitting like 193. Like he's just not the Byron Buxton we're used to seeing. But I mean, like Kirilloff's playing really well. Julian's playing really well. Royce Lewis, before he got hurt, is playing really well. He's gonna be coming back soon. And I just think if the Twins go out and they get one of these hitters that's gonna be available, I think that's a huge come up for them. And like they already have the pitching to sustain success, right? And they have one of the best closers in baseball on top of that. So I think they're an interesting team.
So I think I see 5 sellers in the AL and 5 in the NL.
Who are the sellers in the AL and NL for you?
I would go Oakland, Kansas City, Chicago, White Sox, the Tigers, and the Mariners.
Mariners
And
only
then
4.5 back though.
Yeah, but they just lost Kalinick, which
I think
for a dumb fucking
this
move.
series they have coming up against the Twins is huge
yeah.
for them. If they lose 2 or 3, I think there's a good possibility they're selling at the deadline. What's their schedule for the rest of the week? The Mariners.
Mariners.
I know they got Twins first.
They've got Twins, and then hold up the schedule. It's coming. Arizona.
At Arizona, right?
At Minnesota, at Arizona.
Yeah, bro. If they lose 5 or 6 games on this road trip, you could pack them up. Consider them sellers because they've already come out and said they're going to start to limit Brian Wu and Bryce Miller's innings.
Yep.
And they're not getting Robbie Ray back this year. Marco Gonzalez is still hurt, so they're going to be an interesting team. That Luis Castillo contract might end up being fucking one of the worst contracts ever.
Did you see how Kalinick broke his foot?
Yeah, but it's like Mariners fans were saying on Twitter, dude. Like at least he's showing fucking heart. And
Yeah.
mad
Yeah,
at
that pretty much sums up their season.
Dumb heart, but yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's a huge loss. And Julio Rodriguez, man, he had runners on 2nd and 3rd today in the bottom of the 9th, no outs, and he struck out, dude.
Yep.
He's having a very rough year.
Yeah.
The Angels. Last week we were talking.
Shout out to my boy 44. I think he'll bounce back next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Shohei wouldn't be his teammate though.
I don't know what his issue is this year. Maybe he's pressing too much.
Yeah, he's pressing. You can tell. He's trying to be Superman, and he's doing what Cody Bellinger did last year. Every at bat, he got to hit the ball 500 feet instead of just being.
It's weird though too, Irv, because Ty France, who's like known as a contact hitter, like he can't fucking hit a beach ball this year, dude.
Yeah, like it's just their whole lineup just regressed terribly from last year. And Suarez is actually having a decent year. I didn't think he'd have as good as year that he's having, but the rest of them are just not performing. And Kellenic breaking his foot just pretty much puts the nail in their coffin because he's been pretty much their second best hitter.
Well, they took 2 of 3 from Toronto this weekend, which was huge.
Yeah, that was nice, but they have the pitching. That's not the problem. The hitting is the problem.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem. Angels, every time we start to count them out, they go on like a little win streak, and it brings them right back in there.
Oh yeah, they're not traded Shohei. They're probably gonna try to add a bat or maybe a pitcher, some more bullpen arms, but they're gonna try to go all in, and then their dumbass owner is gonna lose the greatest player of this generation for nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Nothing.
I agree. At this point, I do not see him getting traded at all. And I mean, like, who knows, dude? You make a couple moves, they might be able to make some noise. I don't know if Trout. I don't know when Trout's coming back though.
Yeah, Trout's probably out for the rest of the year. I don't think they're going to get Trout back.
You don't think so?
He haven't even started swinging the bat since the injury.
Well, dude, he's not going. He was out at least a month, and that happened like 2 weeks ago.
Was his wrist or his elbow?
Wrist.
Yeah. I think he might not come. And then if he rushed back, he's not gonna be the same hitter. Look what happened to Max Muncy last year.
True. It's gonna be interesting to see what the Angels do. Because I don't think they're that bad, dude. Mickey Moniak is a hell of a
Yeah, they're
fucking
not
player.
bad. It's just the fact that they're too inconsistent. One night they could look like the fucking murderers row 1927 Yankees and scored 12 runs, win the game 12-8. Then the next game they can't buy a fucking run and lose 3-1 or 4-1. So
That's kind of
it's not
baseball, though.
it's not the talent, it's just they cannot string together being a consistent team. And Shohei ain't been too good on the mound. It's just his bat makes up for.
He's been awful on the mound the last month or so. He's been atrocious.
So the ticket for him to win the Cy Young and the MVP are just pretty much done.
My Orange Birds, first place Orange Birds, best
I love
record in the AL right now.
Sheesh.
Let's go, dude. Looking pretty good. I don't know if they're gonna win the division, but
And they got like 3 monsters in their fucking farm system that they ain't called up yet.
yep, they got a few guys down there, and Gunnar Henderson looks like he's turning the corner, turning into that player that we all kind of thought he would
Yeah,
be.
the AL East might be the Orioles division for the foreseeable future, especially with them shitty ass Yankees continue to be shitty, hopefully. The Orange Birds might be ascending to the top of that division.
I agree. They got to get a starter.
They got to get another starter though.
Jays have a little bit easier of a schedule for the rest of the year, but Rays and Orioles are back to back with.
Every time I start talking positive about the Blue Jays, Ben, they fucking go on a losing streak.
Then we got to think about is what's the name injury more serious than we thought because he still hasn't pitched since he got scratched from that start.
Who?
Gossman.
Didn't he pitch yesterday?
He pitched the other day.
He did?
Yeah.
I thought that was Bassett that pitched the other day.
No, Gossman pitched yesterday. I'm almost positive he did.
I'm pulling it up right now. Manoah pitched yesterday.
Oh, Manoah pitched today.
Pitched today.
Oh, sorry. Yep, that's today, Sunday.
And he looked good. He looked good today.
Mm-hmm. Saturday was Gossman. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
87 pitches.
Yeah, he just had like a little tweaked ankle or something, Irv. He just had like a tweaked ankle or something, they said. It wasn't
and left side discomfort, something like that, they said.
The most interesting team to me in the AL is the Astros, dude.
Yeah.
Because they're getting Jordan back this week, maybe tomorrow. He got scratched from his AAA rehab start today, which I think means he's getting called up to start tomorrow for the Astros. And then Altuve's coming back.
They just need another pitcher too.
They throwing out 3 rookies like the Dodgers. They got to add some veteran pitching.
Yeah.
And they probably need to add another bullpen arm too, because that bullpen is horrendous.
Yeah, that bullpen that was the best bullpen in baseball last year, and this year is definitely not the same. And Presley's not the same at all.
Yeah, he's not either.
They definitely got to go get a couple arms. I just think like of all these like playoff teams, dude, they all need the same thing, which makes the trade market like that much more interesting, dude. Because everybody needs a starter or two, everybody needs bullpen help, and then everybody could like use another batter or something. But it's like there's not that many teams selling because we have an extra wild card spot. So everybody thinks they're in contention for the wild card, which makes the trade market that much more compelling, which I think helps benefit teams like the Orioles, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks who have deep farm systems because they can outbid these other teams in terms of trading for players. The White Sox, I mean, obviously they're going to be selling Giolito, like Irv said. I think Lance Lynn is still a good get. I don't think he's going to be like an ace or anything, but I mean, he's still like, I know his ERA is 6, but he's pitched better than a 6 ERA. He really got.
He doesn't get any run support either.
Yeah, and he got shelled like 3 starts, like really bad. And like even most pitchers, like once you give up 5 runs, they'll pull you out. No, not the White Sox, dude. They let him get shelled for like 12 runs, dude.
Yeah, they let you figure it out like an NBA team going through a bad spell in the game.
Yeah, so that. I think he'll be a good addition to a team, and I could see a team like the Giants taking a risk on Lance Lynn, especially because Lance Lynn's biggest obstacle this year is he gives up the long ball, and if you put him in a park like AT&T Park or Oracle Park, whatever the fuck they call that place now. In San Francisco,
Oracle, yeah.
you know, that doesn't play to home runs. So it kind of benefits him as a pitcher, right? Like he's built for that kind of park, which I think is, you know, kind of makes sense there. The Royals, I don't know. Barlow might be the only interesting piece. I don't think they're going to trade Salvi. You know what I mean? That would be a huge get for somebody, but there's no way they're trading him. He's going to retire a fucking Royal.
What about Melendez? He'll be a nice pickup for somebody too.
He's under club control for like 3 more years, though. I don't know if they'll trade him.
Then hell no, they're not trading him then. Well, somebody could trade for Zach Greinke.
I mean, the Dodgers might.
Hell no, we're not trading for Zach Greinke. This ain't 2008, 2009. That Zach Greinke is long gone.
Oh, that sounds like something the Dodgers do, man. You guys, like I said, dude, you guys always make these marginal moves that end up fucking working.
Bro, that's not a marginal move. That's a horrible move. We're not trading for no damn Zach Greinke.
Maybe the Brewers will go trade for Greinke. Brewers need a bat, though.
Yeah.
Or 3. Although they're hitting better of late. They should have won today, too, man. They should have taken 2 or 3 from the Braves, dude. That was a bad loss.
Bullpen.
Yeah, they that's the thing, dude. They cannot bridge their starter to fucking Devin Williams for shit, dude.
Not at all.
It's a huge concern for them because they should definitely win this division. Atlanta needs starters. Max Fried's down there in AAA getting fucking shelled, dude. I think he gave up like 7 runs on Saturday, Irv, to Norfolk.
Damn.
The Orioles AAA team, which tells you that those kids are ready to fucking come up. And Kyle Wright still hasn't made a fucking rehab start.
Yeah, I think dude's not pitching this year.
Although Smith Shaver, who was up for the Braves earlier in the year, he pitched a gem today for Gwinnett.
Yeah, he's been, and then Soroka been good too.
Yeah, he's kind of coming back into form. I don't know how long it's gonna last though.
Yeah, you can't depend on that in the playoffs though. So
he's coming off 2 huge injuries, dude.
Yeah, and Charlie Morton is his ace days are long gone.
But he's their ace right now.
Yeah, he's the ace right now though. I'm just saying the damn.
They definitely got to get it started because, dude, when it comes to playoff baseball, like we know, like the offense is slowed down in playoff baseball, dude, and like you have to rely on more pitching, right?
Bet a lot of unders during playoff baseball.
And I think that's the thing with the Dodgers though too, is like both the Dodgers and Braves are winning right now because they're putting up significant amount of runs, and then their bullpens are good, right? And it's crazy saying that because the Dodgers bullpen was like one of the worst bullpens in baseball for the first 2.5 months, but since the middle of June, they're third in ERA right now. So they've really come along, which I think is huge for them. But they got to get some starting pitching, man, because you can't go into the playoffs expecting to win fucking 10-8 games, dude. I mean, it's nice to have lineups like that, tough outs, but like the Braves, dude, like I don't see. You think a team's scared of facing fucking Charlie Morton, Soroka, and Bryce Elder? Like, come on, man. What are we doing, dog? Those 3 dudes getting shelled.
Yeah. They got to add some type of veteran pitching. Because
like,
if Freed comes up pitching like he is in AAA, whew.
Yeah, it'd be all bad.
You remember what he did against the Dodgers in 2020?
Oh, he was huge, dude.
No, we lit his ass up that one game. We scored 12 runs in 1 inning.
Yeah, but I mean, he was huge that playoff run. He was hella good. I'm not 2020.
Yeah.
I'm talking 2021. Sorry.
Yeah, because 2020, you guys had shell.
Yeah, I'm talking. He was a rookie though. 2021 is. But like right now, the Braves would face the Giants in a series. Yeah, but I mean, like Logan Webb's the best starter of either of those teams. I know he got shelled, but
yeah.
he's still the best
he'll
starter.
probably he got shelled his last start, but he would probably win game 1 if you had to like bet like, okay, I'll take Logan Webb versus Charlie Morton.
And the Giants have the best closer of those 2 teams in Duvall.
Yeah.
It's really
Then
just
they gotta get to him.
and
Yep.
and really, unless the Giants are facing a lefty, like they can't hit lefties for shit, man.
Yeah,
Oh, we've gotten better against lefties though.
Mackenzie Gore looked like
Mackenzie-
Prime Randy Johnson.
Yeah, Casey Gore look really good, dude. Y'all can't hit lefties. You guys are like one of the worst teams against
He
lefties.
pitched like 7 or 8 innings. He shut y'all ass.
I think we jumped up. I think we're what, like 17th, 18th now.
Yeah, but I think y'all
I mean,
headed
it's
back
not
down
great,
towards-
but still.
I think y'all headed back down to the bottom versus left-handed pitching though.
Nah, you guys have an 89 WRC plus, which is 25th against lefties. Your
They
OPS,
kill righties though.
your OPS too is
Except for Josiah Gray, he pitched a gym too against y'all.
you guys have a 684 OPS against lefties, which is 25th, and ISO against lefties. Let's see, even worse, 132, which is second to last against lefties. You guys can't hit lefties. You guys need to go get right-handed bats that
100%.
that rake lefties
100%.
like Tommy Pham,
Need a
Mark
couple
Canna.
bats. Yeah.
Like those are marginal moves. You don't have to give up a ton of prospects, and they both rake righties.
Yep.
Didn't lefties
I'm
Tommy
sorry.
Pham play for the Giants before?
Nah, you played for San Diego, Cincinnati,
Oh,
and
San
Boston.
Diego, yeah. He was with San Diego when he slapped what's the name?
No, he was with Cincy when he slapped Jock Peterson. But he
Yeah,
slapped
okay.
Jock Peterson because he played for San Diego the year before, and Jock Peterson was talking shit about how the Padres. Remember how they fucking just absolutely crumbled the second half of the year and missed the playoffs? Yeah. Good times, dude. But Mark Canna from the Bay Area went to Bellarmine High School. Would make sense getting him. You know, he's familiar with the area.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the Giants aren't far away, dude. Their bullpen's good too. Like maybe you get a little starter.
I think if we get a pitcher DH, and then a variety that rakes lefties.
I mean, that'd be ideal, but Angels ain't selling him no more, dude.
Yeah, for I don't think so.
So we'll
Which
see.
is dumb, but it's what it is.
Cy Young market. Want to touch on this a little bit because it's like the only. Well, this and the Rookie of the Year markets are like the only markets that I think have any. You could still bet.
Yeah.
And the Cy Young is interesting to me because right now Garrett Cole for the AL betting favorite, and for the NL it's Zach Gallen. Now Zach Gallen's last 2 starts he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great on the road all year really. And Garrett Cole to me like, dude's always getting shelled every time I turn around, dude. I don't understand how his ERA is still under 3. Framber Valdez plus 500. I know he lost to the A's last night, which kind of hurt. Shane McClanahan got shelled by the Orioles. He's the 3rd betting favorite. Kevin Gausman, 4th, plus 550. Nathan Eovaldi, 6th, plus 700. Luis Castillo, which I wouldn't even bet that, plus 1,200. That's impossible. But here's the one that I think makes perfect sense.
Eovaldi.
Felix Bautista, plus 10,000.
Why?
Because if they win the division, he would be the main reason why.
Felix Bautista, he's not the main reason why, but
I'm just saying, like, he's the best closer in baseball. He's gonna be
He's-
on. If they win their division, they're one of the better records in baseball. Ain't his save percentage like 98% right now?
yeah, and he's also on pace to he has let me get the advanced numbers. He has a 50% K percentage, dude. 50% of the batters he faces, he's striking out. All right, he has a 129 average against. I mean, this guy is just, he doesn't give up runs unless it's the All-Star game. He's given up 5 earned all year. All season long, dude. He's only given up 21 hits this year, dude. That's it. 21. 0.94 ERA, 1.67 xFIP. Left on base percentage of 87.3. I mean, he's putting up historical numbers, dude.
When's the last time they gave it to a non-starter though?
K-Rod.
Probably K-Rod or Gagne.
And I think the one thing that does hurt him is like K-Rod had like 55 saves, I think, the year he won it. And Bautista's not going to get that many saves only because the Orioles don't pitch him that much. Like, when I say that much, they pitch him a lot, but they don't pitch him enough to get 50 saves. He has 27 saves right now, so you basically need, we have 60-something games, or 70?
60 games left.
60 games left.
Yeah, 62.
So he'd need like 30 save. He need half those games to be saved. I just don't think that's realistic. But the fact that he's putting up historical numbers, and none of these starters are like, you look at all these starters and none of them are like, oh yeah, they're Cy Young, dude, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of just like, yeah, they're having good years, but none of them like blow you away at all.
And I think there's so much riding on their teams that's going to kind of fill that that storyline for them. I think, with Garrett Cole, Yankees are going to miss the playoffs. That's going to cause some issues with his voting, again, because it's media based.
For Cy Young, I don't think team matters, but remember back in the day, it was always like, if you won 20 games, you were like in contention for a Cy Young, regardless of what your ERA was. You could have like a 4 ERA and have 20 wins, and you were like, you were gonna get some.
Nobody's
votes.
going to come close to that.
But then King Felix Hernandez, he was like the first one. He was like 2-11, but he had like a 2.67 ERA on the year, and he was like the best pitcher in baseball. But like his team was just so dog shit, and they gave him the Cy Young. He was the best pitcher in baseball that year. But it's like this year, you can't tell me any of these starters, Garrett Cole, Framber Valdez, Shane McClanahan, Kevin Gausman, Eovaldi, Luis Castillo, Ohtani, which are all the betting favorites above Felix Bautista. You can't tell me any of those are like by far and away the best pitcher in the American League.
Yeah.
And I think that's why there's value on Felix Bautista, because he's putting up historical numbers for his position. Yeah, he doesn't start, but he's doing incredible things. And then for the NL, we kind of got the same situation. Like, I don't know if there's an NL closer that's legit that I would put in there, but I mean, like, it's just such a wide open field, dude. Gallen plus 200. Strider plus 320, Blake Snell plus 400, which I would probably make the favorite right now, Blake Snell. Logan Webb plus 800, just got shelled. Kershaw plus 1,300, he's not going to make enough starts. He's hurt right now. Jesus Luzardo plus 1,700, I think there's some value there. Dude's been lights out the last 2 months. Mm-hmm. Marcus Stroman plus 2,000, his last 3 starts, he hasn't been good. Corbin Burns 25-1, Justin Steele 30-1, Zach Wheeler 50-1. I mean, again, same thing with the AL, dude. There's just like none of these guys like stand out and they're like, this is the best pitcher in the NL this year.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Like you might even have a good chance of throwing $10 on Zach Wheeler plus 5,000. You might win, dude. Or Charlie Morton, dude. He's like 100-1.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys that like at the, I don't even want to say the All-Star break because it's not in the middle of the season anymore, but halfway through the season, I definitely, put more money on, but they've really kind of just digressed this whole, last couple weeks, and
yeah, Spencer,
in my eyes, takes them out of the
everyone considers Spencer Strider like the best pitcher in the NL, and it's like we've talked about it plenty of times, dude. Every time we fucking watch Spencer Strider, this dude's giving up 4 to 5 runs a game.
Yeah,
he's almost a 4 ERA now.
Yeah, but
he strikes out he strikes out almost 15 batters per 9 innings.
Yeah.
But
yeah, strikeout numbers are great.
But he gets shelled, dude, all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you give a guy who has a 3.78 ERA a fucking Cy Young, dude? Only because he strikes out guys. it doesn't make sense to me. Like Framber Valdez for the AL, like I think he's a hell of a pitcher, dude, but he's like very ground ball oriented. Like he doesn't get a ton of like strikeouts like most Cy Young guys do. He only has a 9.78 K per nine. And Framber also, like when he works himself into trouble, he gets hella frustrated, dude. Like last night against the A's, dude, gave up 4 runs because he hits a batter, walks a batter, he gets hella frustrated, and then he just like implodes, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens all the time. I just think the Cy Young market it's fascinating, dude. To be honest, like you could make a case for any of these guys, and I wouldn't debate it.
Yep.
You could be like, I like Stroman. I'd say other than he's been dog shit his last 3 starts, I'd be like, okay, like there's definitely a path for him to win, I think. It's fascinating.
Yeah. All right, so who are you taking? AL, NL.
So AL, I'm taking Felix Bautista, 100 to 1.
Mhm.
And then NL, I already have a ticket on Jesus Luzardo for a lot better than 17 to 1. So seeing that number makes me happy. Blake Snell's 4 to 1 right now, which isn't like I'm not telling anyone to go out and make that bet right now, but I would put Blake Snell as a favorite right now, which is why I don't understand that number. I mean, Gallen hasn't been good the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And he's been terrible on the road all year. So I'd probably say if you put a gun to my head and like made me pick someone, I would honestly, for the price of Zach Wheeler, 50 to 1, I'd probably put it on him. He's a 3.8 ERA, but he has a 3.47 xFIP, and he's getting better every single start. 10K per 9. I mean, he was lights out yesterday against the Guardians and didn't get a win because his fucking team can't hit for fucking shit. But I'd probably make that bet with Zach Wheeler.
Irv, who are you taking?
Give me AL. McClanahan got to bounce back, but he would probably be my front runner right now. I wouldn't be upset at the Felix Bautista pick either. NL, damn. NL's a tough one, man. It was a Gallen for a long time.
Yep.
I don't see, which definitely should be Strider.
Nope.
Give me Stroman. He's been good besides that, his last couple starts.
Who you going with, Ben?
I'm going McClanahan.
Dude, he's been back for like a month, Ben.
What's that?
He's been bad.
He's been bad?
Yeah, Andy was hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I definitely...
But I could see it.
I understand that.
Especially if he comes back to himself the rest of the year.
Yeah. Again, before the injuries in Atlanta, I'd put it at Strider. If he was pitching at that number 2, number 3 spot, I think that'd be incredible. I don't like anyone here. Maybe Wheeler at plus 5,000.
Yeah, that's like the only dude I'm willing to put money on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Snell, Webb, Kershaw, Luzardo. I mean, I think again, there's a chance there, but I'm not. Maybe Webb at that plus 1,200, but even then, I don't think he's there. I don't think Kershaw at plus 2,200. Great pitcher. Don't think he's at that level this year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Kershaw got hurt. I think that hurts him in that aspect.
Absolutely.
I think he
plays a part into it though.
Yeah, because you got to make a certain number of starts. So they're not going to give it to you if you make way less starts than all the rest of the pitchers. And I think Kershaw could have been on pace to win it, but the fact he's missed like 5 or 6 starts in a row and he could miss more, I think that kind of hurts him.
mean, maybe Keller.
No. That ship is sailed.
Yeah.
That ship is sailed. All right, let's get some best bets for tomorrow.
Let's go, y'all.
What do we like for tomorrow, boys?
Give me
Good.
honestly, like the Dodgers and Blue Jays. Give me the Dodgers money line, even with Michael Grove pitching. I just like the way we're playing right now, and we're returning home from a pretty damn good road trip. And also, I like the Rangers versus the Astros. Give me the Astros. For some reason, the Rangers cannot beat the Astros, so I'm gonna keep riding that train until they get that monkey off their back. So I like the Dodgers money line, Astros money line.
I like that Astros pick. What's your best bet, Ben?
So I had the Dodgers money line at -130, and then I also had the Cleveland Guardians. I'm gonna go run line on this one, just because at -195 you're not getting good value against the Royals.
-1.5. All right. Well, after I shat on the Brewers and how they can't get from the starter to Devin Williams, I'm taking Brewers money line tomorrow against the Reds. Colin Ray's on the mound, going against Graham Ashcraft. Graham Ashcraft in 2 starts against the Brewers this year has over a 6 ERA. The Brewers just have the Reds number, dude. Like, when they play the Reds, they just see red. They win ball games. I like the Brewers here, coming off a series they should have beat the Braves, and I think they know that. And this is basically for the division again. So give me the Brewers money line tomorrow. I think it's like -120 right now. I like it.
Even better.
115. Get it now because it's gonna go up. I guarantee you, it's gonna close like -125 to -130. So get it now. Brewers money line. Let's go. I'm also leaning Twins money line. I haven't got there yet, but I lean it, and I'm with Irv too. I like Houston money line too. I haven't got there yet though. So my best bet for tomorrow is Brewers money line. I've already placed it. I like it. I love it. That's my best bet. Nice.
How was your beer?
It was good. How was yours?
I loved it. 4%. You can drink this thing quick. I got through
With a couple shots of whiskey or what?
What's that?
So with a couple shots of whiskey or what?
No, I didn't take any whiskey.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's a good beer because you could like drink that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes. I gotcha. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I didn't drink any of that. Maybe I should have.
Anthony Richardson already splitting first team reps down the middle with Gardner Minshew.
I mean, dude, if you draft a quarterback in the first round now, you have to play him, dude.
Well, you don't have to play him, but it's more like he's earning playing time. But I get what you're saying.
Well, plus Shane Steichen, like, look what he did with Jalen Hurts, dude. Like, he's not gonna put Anthony Richardson in the position to like drop back and fucking throw the ball. You know what I mean? That motherfucker's gonna be running it 30 times a game, dude, and design run plays. Anthony Richardson, rookie of the year. I don't know what the odds are. That's an interesting play, though. I think he's gonna run a lot, or he might break Justin Fields' rushing record for quarterbacks.
Richardson?
Yeah.
No, I don't see him running that much.
Bro, he's bigger and he's more athletic.
But they have Jonathan Taylor at running back, though.
Yeah, it makes it even more dynamic. But the thing is like
they're not going to be running him like that. I don't give a damn if he was 6'8", 320.
Yeah, but Irv, he can sustain the hits, dude. He can sustain the hits.
Quarterback. No, you can't say that because look what happened to Cam Newton taking all them damn hits.
Yeah, like 7 years later.
It don't matter. His career should have lasted way longer than what it did.
Anthony Richardson ain't dropping back and fucking.
They're not going to put him. He's going to run the ball, but he's not going to run the ball nowhere near as much for him to challenge breaking the quarterback rushing record.
Irv's tripping. I'm gonna laugh when he's rushing for 1,300 yards this year.
All right, Calvin Candy.
Just like Irv thinks fucking Jordan Love's gonna be dog shit.
Throw him to the Mandingos.
Tripping, bro. You are tripping. All right, boys. We're going to be back on Tuesday night. Make sure to tap in with us Tuesday night, 8:15.
8:15.
Sorry, I'm trying to read. There's hella comments in our chat, but it's all fucking bots. So, fuck, I don't even know what all that is. There's shit in other language I can't even read. We're gonna be back 9:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday night. We'll be previewing and breaking down Major League Baseball slate for Wednesday, which we've been pretty hot on the MLB preview shows. Hope to continue that as well. And then Wednesday night we have our...
We're not hot, but
no, they cooled off a little bit, but we'll get back. We'll get back on track. And then we'll be back on also ACC preview Wednesday night, 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with myself, Irv, and AK. And then Friday night, myself and AK will be on 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, breaking down MLB for Saturday, which your boy had a really good show. Hit Orioles money line on Saturday and Dodgers money line. Had a 2-0 day, so we'll hope to continue that as well. But we appreciate y'all for hanging out. If you didn't get to catch the live stream, you can download the podcast on Apple Podcasts. You can download it on Spotify, wherever else you get your podcast. It's on every podcast platform there is. Google, iHeartRadio, whatever it may be, it's there. Go find us, Taproom Sports Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube at Taproom Sports Podcast. Also go to twitch.tv, Taproom Sports. Lock us in there. Follow Irv on Twitter, which is going to be X as of midnight, which I don't know how we're going to say like a tweet, or follow us on Twitter. Follow us on X. Follow Irv on X at Swerve and Irvin TSP. Follow myself at Jordan Rules TSP. Follow the podcast.
Wait, they changing the name of Twitter?
Yeah, bro, where you been for the last day?
Yeah, I missed this.
Follow the podcast at Taproom_sports. We need to get a thread so they could follow us on threads too. But man, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out.
last but not least, go to devour.com. Use promo code TAPROOM. Get $10 off your first purchase, $25 or more.
Let's
Forgot
go.
that plug.
We'll see y'all later. Have a blessed Monday. Have a good start to your week. We love y'all. We out.